Financial disclaimer. The information provided in this stream is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered as professional financial or investment advice. We are not licensed financial advisors, and the content presented here is based on our personal opinions and experiences. Investing in stocks and other financial instruments involves risk, including the potential loss of capital. Any investment decisions you make are solely your own responsibility, and you should conduct your own research and consult with a qualified financial professional before making any investment choices. The content we share on this stream may not be accurate, complete, or up to date. Market conditions and financial regulations can change rapidly, and we cannot guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information presented. We do not endorse or promote any specific stocks, companies, or investment strategies. Any actions you take based on the content of this stream are at your own risk, and we will not be held liable for any losses or damages that may occur as a result. Always remember that past performance is not indicative of future results, and no investment is guaranteed to be profitable. Make informed decisions and consider your risk tolerance before investing any funds. By accessing and using this stream, you acknowledge and agree that we are not responsible for any investment decisions you make as a result of the content presented. You are encouraged to seek advice from qualified financial professionals for personalized guidance. Please invest responsibly, and only with money you can afford to lose.
Hey man, just found the next guaranteed multi-bagger.
Hey man, you found another one? What is it this time?
Come check this out.
Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm just struggling a bit to get my sheet up. Hold on. There we are. Thank you for taking the time to wait. We are still learning a little bit OBS. Sometimes, for some reason, I get a black screen, but yeah, it was a quick fix. So welcome to the stream. Today I have seen, I haven't found so much today on the screener, but I will go through the ones I have found. I took a look a little bit earlier today, and I found a couple of tickers that I think will be interesting to check out. And if we run out of tickers to check, I was thinking we could go to my tracker and pull up some of the tickers I've already have in the tracker to update a little bit on those. So that's my rough plan for today. I'm starting here in my dashboard. I just updated my sheet, so hopefully everything is up to date now. And I made a little bit of changes in my fundamental sheet actually. I've just added a little bit. I will tell you when we come across them. Yeah, but the dashboard, you see, natural gas is a bit up, uranium. There's a lot of people following uranium these days, so I don't own any uranium stocks or companies, but I'm paying attention to some opportunities there, and I think I've been thinking I'm a bit late to the party right now, but it seems to be going well for the uranium field. We can pull up the chart here. Look at this. How bullish is this? Since March this year has just gone up, 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 up. So that's a good looking chart. So that's why I said I think I'm a bit late, but yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for any field there really, but I know that uranium has been bullish for a while now. Solar is up, gold miners, ammonia, China internet, semis, shipping. And then I saw some of the ones in the risk column are up here. You see China is up, Hong Kong. Nothing too much. Natural gas is a bit interesting for me. I just bought actually into a company that is in the field. So hopefully for me, this chart can turn around a little bit. I can talk about the company I bought a bit later. I think discussed it with the Dane on Monday, and I think he took them up on his stream on Tuesday. So I think he has gone through them, but I thought I should get an entry there. I didn't put a lot of money in there, but I took an entry position to follow and track and to be in it, because the volume is so insanely low. I've never been in a stock with such low volume on average before. So I was thinking I should jump in and see where it goes. Hopefully it can be a good investment for me. But we can get to it a bit later. So I've already pulled up a few tickers from the daily movers, but I will go through the daily movers anyways, so we can do it together. The tickers from the daily movers. Sorry, I'm just checking if the sound is good. So yeah, let's just dive straight into the daily movers sheet. And I told you last time, but I updated with these metrics here, and that's the thing I have to update in the sheet now. So I have to manually update them. It's very easy with Y sheets. You just click a button, but it took a long time, so that's why I was running a little bit late. Sometimes it drags out a little bit in the time, and but it's nothing too crazy. I'm very glad that I've added these metrics, because I have more to look at than before I pull them in. So hopefully the stream can be that we find a little bit more interesting companies to look at, and so that hopefully you guys can get some value, and that we are not just pulling in companies that we don't like. And if you didn't watch Dane's stream on Tuesday, I advise you to watch it. I watched it after he streamed, and I found it very useful. He went through a lot of tickers on Tuesday. He covered a lot. So yeah, if you have time, please watch it. So yeah, I saw there's a lot of moving stocks today, but nothing that was too interesting when I looked like 2 hours ago, but I will look again now. We can start with this one. It's a broadcasting company. I actually looked at this before, and I decided to not pull it up because of the heavy debt there. I didn't find it interesting enough. DQ have it in the tracker. Just a reminder, the white thing here means that I have it in the tracker already, and the black one is that I have looked at it in the past 3 months. So that's what the color coding here means. Let's move to the next one here. You see a lot of things are not trading close to the 52 weeks lows anymore. Usually this is a bit longer. But the market has been very bullish the last couple of weeks, 1.5 weeks. So things are moving up a little bit lately on the news that the near-term outlook is a bit more positive than feared. TCS, good company. I have it in tracker already. You will see in the tracker it's going to be a lot more green here in the metrics than in the daily movers, because they have kind of passed my screener already, you know. So I see some inside buys here in Rumble. Is that a big one? Oh, that's pretty big actually, and director and a 10% owner. They buy for the same amount, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But it seems to me that there are 2 individual people buying. So maybe we should have another look at the Rumble, even though I've looked at it before. RMBL. Let's pull it up. Another insider buy here, Bio Atla. I don't like the biotech right now. That's not for me. Yeah, nothing too much that I saw here moving today. I think we will just dive straight into the fundamentals and pull up the ones I already have there. And then we can see how much time we spend on that and maybe go back and have a look if or pull up something in the tracker. But yeah, we can start with the STRT Security Corp, which here's the description. They engage in the designing, development, manufacturing, and marketing of automotive access control products. Its products include mechanical and electronical enhanced locks and keys, steering column and instrument panel, ignition lock, housing, latches, power sliding doors, power lift gates, power deck lids, and door handles. The firm also offers zinc die casting, metal stamping, and metal plating. So they are providing like parts for cars and also burglar alarms for houses and stuff like that. And you can see it lights up safe here. I see a very low share count of 4 million, which has been very steady all these years. It went down to 3 and then up a little bit. Market cap not so big, 105 million, but look at the revenues, 500 million. And the capex is also pretty stable. It has increased a little bit here. Maybe that has to do with some of these acquisitions down here, but you can also see that they have sold something here lately. So we need to check in on that. Book is pretty stable. It hasn't had any insane growth, I think, but a little bit, and also it hasn't gone down. So I think that's good also when you see the revenue growth together with it. And the cash generation, you see the last year now has been a little bit negative for them, which I assume maybe then the margins is down, which I'm not a big fan of that, but the net cash flow margin is up. But I guess that's why you have maybe you have an opportunity here that maybe they have declined a little bit. So let's check a look. Check the chart real quick, and actually has bounced up. I guess that's on a earnings report or something, a positive earnings report. Yeah, a beat in October, beat by 9.3 million. This guy has a strong buy on it from July. We can check out the comments. Oh yeah, so there's something there that has made them beat. Maybe it's the sell here that has made them beat the revenue. So that comment made me think a little bit straight away. I'm not sure if I'm going to read the article right now. Maybe if I find some more interesting in the fundamentals. So this comment is recently from 18th of December, and it seems like there's some analysts that has a price target of $38. So that's a little bit of upside. Well, it was in the article. So they have some excess cash, but it's not even enough to clear the short-term debt. But they don't have so much debt, and that's why it comes up at safe here. historically, compared to the price, it is generating a little bit of operating cash flow, but not a lot of free cash flow, and not a lot of net cash flow. So I'm not sure if I like this company too much. I like that they don't have a debt, and I like the revenue growth, but is that from this sale maybe? I need to check if there's been a gain on a asset sale or something like that. Net sales is a bit up, but also like we saw the cost of goods sold is also up a little bit. I didn't see if they have sold the asset. Not sure if I'm missing it or what's going on here. I just saw this one, which is 2 million. And this one, that is a purchase. Maybe there's something in the news here. Yeah, no, I can't find it. But I saw this one. Today announced that it has entered into and subsequently completed the transaction contemplated by an equity restructuring agreement between the company and WITTE related to both companies' vehicle access system technology. It's like a joint venture that they have closed. All right. See, the retained earnings has stagnated a bit, but it's pretty high. Something to pay attention to. Look at the earnings, negative for the last one. And I see on the chart, I would like a bigger drop for an entry here, you know. I think it's too high right now based on the fundamentals. It trades well below book though. And I don't remember now. We saw the balance sheet. So they have a lot of assets, 300 million in assets, which is 3 times the market cap. And that's why you can see my valuation calculator is giving it a high valuation, because it takes into consideration this book value and the cash flow generation, which is it uses the historical ones. And historically, this on the operating cash flow has a fairly high cash flow generation per share, which is good. But like we have told you, like we have seen already, the this year is down. But what I like here is like I like the book. It hasn't declined. It has moved up a little bit. I like the revenue growth. I don't like that the margin has declined now. I like that it has control of the debt. But I don't like the comments in these articles, and right now I couldn't find out more about the this comment here from shady traders. Terrible quarter outside of the one-time concession. Can only imagine how bad the next will be with the UAW stop. So that's something I would have to look into if I wanted to add it to my tracker, but I think I will not. I don't think this is attractive enough for me right now. You can also see up here that it's trading close to the 52-week high already. So on the chart, it's in a small uptrend right now since here 17. Even you could get it as low as 16, and look at this volume on that day. So it has gone up a little bit since that, but I don't see any insiders. See a lot of selling, and let's just look at the owners, institutional owners. Isn't this Gabelli guy? Isn't he involved in Gamco and that he's an activist? Did they mention that in any of the articles? Oh, they did. I missed that. Activist involvement. Is that him? Yeah, Mario Gabelli. Gabelli has notified the company of his intent to nominate 2 director candidates. Okay, so this changes my thinking a little bit actually. And what's his? Oh, so he has owned it for a long time. According to this data, he has a 31 average, which is below, which is higher than today's price. And on the other one, doesn't say. And which position was it? Sorry. See, it's not so high the position for him, but he owns, together with the other one, he owns a lot of this company, but for his holdings, you see he has a lot of companies. He has a lot of companies, and this ranked as number 146. So then maybe I don't hold so much weight to that news, but still it's interesting. If you don't know about Gabelli, you can read a little bit about him here. 81 years old. I think he's a billionaire, US dollar billionaire. Yeah, here with a net worth of 1.7 billion. Activist investor. What is he writing about it, this guy? Gamco, an investment firm funded by Mario Gabelli, currently holds 742,000 shares of STRT, representing an 18.5% stake in the company. Gamco has notified the company in an updated 13D filing of their intention to nominate 2 candidates to join STRATEC's board of directors. We believe Gabelli's involvement in STRATEC may lead to improvements in governance and capital allocation, and meaningful increases the likelihood of further accretive strategic transaction or a sale of the entire company. That's interesting though. It's this guy here.
It's a great day to have our next guest on set with us. Joining us.
What is the amount of money that we owe as a country, 33 trillion? How much of it is held by the public? How do you pay interest if it goes to 4 and
Interest
10?
rates soaring, right.
And then you have to look at it, how do we get out of this mess? And the way you get out of it is have a strong economy, that is grow revenues, cut costs or keep them constant.
He's talking about the economy in general, but I like that though. If you take that into this company,
Is have a strong economy, that is grow revenues, cut costs or keep
grow revenues and cut costs to keep them constant. Very simple, but it's true. And if he gets 2 people on the board, I guess that's something he's gonna focus on. When you saw, we already talked about the margins, right, and how they have declined. So I guess if he gets a little bit of power in the board, this will be a focus point. And okay, maybe this is a bit more interesting then. I think the book value there is high. The cash flow generation on operating cash flow isn't bad, but it's not so much either. I would want it a little bit higher. Right, keep in mind that this is not my calculator here is not diluting the numbers, so these are accurate, at least according to my data set. And I'm just thinking, if he gets control, this could be worth paying a little bit attention to. And the guy in the Seeking Alpha article, he was even talking about a sell of the entire company, like a exit strategy. So yeah, that changed my view on it a little bit, I must say. This guy is clearly not a... He knows what he's doing. The question though, how much will he pay attention to this company? Yes, he has almost 20%, but in his portfolio, it's not ranked super high. But of course, if he gets some board seats, he will care about it a lot. And that he has already sent a letter to the board explaining them that they need to improve some things. Obviously show you that he is very motivated to turn this around. But keep in mind though, if that data was correct, he had a 30 bucks entry average, and it's currently trading below that. I think I will keep add this to my tracker just to keep an eye on the story. STRT. What was the current price? 25.81. Good price entry, that's the thing though. What do you think? I was thinking that if you take like put like 10 times this is like 37. This is a steady decline, you know, since February 2021. And it hasn't really established itself. It's just moved down until here, which is around this level that we are on now. We can see here 30. What did I say? 37. I would need it to go down here again. See, in the pandemic, it went down to 12. I doubt that we will see 12 again when you see what's going on after. And also historically, it has not been that low many times. But you can see here, I'm not basing it on this, but you can see it has some points in the past also around 1917. So I think I would say like around 17, just to set up a number that will catch my eye, because I use conditional formatting in my tracker sheet. So if it trades to a certain percentage to the good price entry that I've put in, it lights up green. And I have different grades of green, so it's just to catch my eye if there's a drop. I'm going to put medium on this. I'm not super confident. The whole thing will be to see if this activist will activist investor, if he will do something. Fundamentals looks all right, somewhat for Q3 report. Revenue growth, steady book, trades well below book at current levels. Activist investor involved wants 2 board seats. What's the name? Gambelli? I think it was Gambelli, right? Mario Gabelli. Ramco. No debt. What else did we see? A drop in margins. Gabelli talking about cutting costs in a YouTube video. Yeah, just to remind myself of that there exists a video of him. Maybe I will watch it later, the whole thing, to get to know him a little bit. I don't know much about that guy. Pay attention to potential drop towards 17, and update on activist news. I think that's enough. I will keep an eye on it just to track it and have it so I can pay a little bit more attention to it than what I can if it just shows up in the screener every now and then. I mean, in the daily movers. There it is. All right. That's okay. Yeah, interesting. It will be interesting to follow this one, I think. It definitely has some things that I think is not so impressive, but it has enough to just keep an eye on it, you know. Okay, let's move on. Next one, DSKE. Let's move on. DSKE, I don't know how to pronounce that. DSKE engages in provision of transportation and logistics solutions. It operates through the flatbed solutions and specialized solution segments. The flatbed solution segment delivers its services through flatbed and retractable sided transportation equipment to meet the needs of high volume and time-sensitive shippers. The specialized solution segment focuses on transportation and logistics solutions that include super heavy haul, high-value customized over-dimensional commercial glass, and high-security cargo solutions. The company was founded by Don R. DSKE in November 2008 and is in Texas. So straight away here, I noticed that for some reason I don't have the industries here. Maybe I I will have to look into that. I have no idea why that happened. What I was going to say was I noticed the market cap and the revenue, which is much higher than market cap. You see the debt, they are levered, they have a lot of debt. 761 million near term, 128. They have only 61 in excess cash. They pay a dividend. You see earnings marginal up. Retained earnings has even taken a hit. There's been an acquisition here, and the book has dropped. Tangible book has dropped, while the book has a slow increase since 2019. So interesting. But here you see it's very levered, this company. Also interesting to see the drop in share count up here. That's a lot of shares. Trades at around $5. Historically not very impressive with the cash generation, but you can see some of the margins here are up in the last year, and then of course some are down. On the 3-year I saw there's some green stuff that means it has improved, but also on the net cash flow it doesn't look as good. But maybe that's why it's trading close to the 52-week low here. Let's check the chart. No insider buying, but you can see the insider own 37%. So we can check. Let's pull that up straight away actually. Interesting. Seems like that number is wrong. Because here it says they own 6%. Maybe my number is including these ones, and that number is often a little bit off. So if you add all these, what do you get? Like 6, 16, 29, 30. I don't know. They are a little bit off at least. This is probably why on, oh, they have warrants. I think they have warrants. Now, I don't know any. Well, I've heard of them, of course, but I don't pay attention too much of these guys. This one is a bit interesting. I don't know, probably the founder or something. Or is it another activist or what? Tabor Douglas is here. Well, anyways, it seems like maybe he got some share in acquisition or something. I would have to dig deeper into that. You see, they have spent some cash here. Have they paid down debt? No, the debt is growing, which is a bit worrying. Do they have bonds? No. Let's check the 10Q then for the debt. They have a term loan, 320 million. Another one there for equipment. Made a 50 million and 20 million cash prepayment of the term loan facility. And wrote off 0.7 million and 0.3 million deferred financing fees respectively. So they're of course paying down according to the deal they have. And then 320 million left due in 2028. So they have some breathing room there. The interest rate on the term loan was 9.43. We are in a bad period with the rates and all that stuff, but 9%, 9.5% seems high still. What was the market cap here? This is a lot of debt. The company was in compliance with all covenants contained in the agreement governing the term loan. Okay. And when is the other one due? Oh yeah, so that was that one. They have paid it down. Various dates. So they have some breathing room. They have some opportunity to generate some cash and pay it down, which is what they are doing. But and they are buying back shares. So that's maybe what they use the cash for here. And you can also see that they have improved the capex. By the way, I think this is already in the tracker. So I got it from the tracker, my tracker sheet, and not the daily movers today. But I caught my eye because of it's trading close to the 52-week low. Let's pull out Seeking Alpha. Check if someone is writing. There's a lot of buy ratings at least, but I don't know these. I've seen this Daniel Jones a lot. He writes on a lot of things. Not a lot of comments, and the articles are a little bit old. So and the same guys are commenting on it. What's the chart doing? A bit of uptrend now, but let's see if it takes out this high that was in September. Down in the fours here very recently. Very consistent volume. And you can also see the RSI is on the way up. You do like 10 times free cash flow here, you arrive to around today's price. Of course, it trades above book. And this dividend feels unnecessary when you have that debt that you have to pay off. And do they talk about the repurchase, share repurchase? No, nothing in that one. Here, it would be misleading of me to say that the first quarter was a one-time event, and that, let's just check when this was from. It was from July, wasn't it? Yeah, July, August. But it was a one-time event and that everything would be alright. Almost certainly the pain that was experienced during that time will continue for the foreseeable future. Even management that is indicated as much. In the first quarter earnings release, they said that they expect market conditions to remain challenging. These challenges include soft freight rates and inflationary cost pressures. Of course, this doesn't mean that the company is doing nothing in the meantime. They did recently decrease their guidance, okay, for capital expenditures, expecting the metric to now come in between 135 and 145 million. This is down from the 145 to 155 million the company initially planned to spend when in around. And in a vote of confidence regarding company's future, management in May of this year redeemed shares of a perpetual they have preferred. Okay, that was what we were reading about in the depth. Of course, this picture could change at a moment's notice. Before the market opens on August 3rd, management is expected to announce financial results covering the second quarter of the company's. The current expectation for revenue come in at, alright. Even though the top line is expected to come in weak, the bottom line is something that analysts are optimistic about to some extent. The current forecast is the earnings per share to come in about 0.30. That would represent an increase over the 0.24 in profit the company generated during the second quarter, but this is a bit deceptive. That's because the company, through a major strategic transaction completed last year, repurchased a great deal of its stock outstanding. Overall share count from the first quarter to the first quarter this year, for instance, dropped about 31%. It was a big drop. When you adjust for this and look solely of net profits, you get an estimate of 13.5 million for the second quarter this year. that would be down from the 7.7 million that business reported 1 year earlier. Revenue is a bit down as well. And let me just check if what they say in their presentations. I hope you can see this. Let me know if if this is too small. And there was a lot of text here. That was a disclaimer. All right. They are all over the place in these, with the trucks. Man, some of these are gigantic. Imagine all the weight this is a windmill or something that they are transporting. Pretty impressive. We're talking about the debt again, that they are focusing on paying it down. But that's the term loan. If you see historically, they've taken on more debt. And right now, they don't have the cash to cover even the near term completely. But it seems like they don't struggle to pay down the term loan. So I'm not sure. It's just a lot of debt here. Here's the flatbed segment. And here, operating expenses decreased by 27 million, primarily due to lower purchase freight associated with the decline in owner, operator, and brokerage revenue. Okay. I guess fuel prices has a big impact on these people. This cycle will eventually correct in a meaningful way, even without an external catalyst, not likely to benefit from recovery until 2024. Which is soon, of course, but 2024 they don't guide like it could be very late in 2024. Well, I think I've seen enough now. This is like I told you, it's already in the tracker, so I'm not gonna add it. But it's good to read up and update myself on the news here. And I like the increasing in operating cash flow. Let me just check when I added it to the tracker. Yeah, so I added it in August this year. like a few months ago. What did I write then? I don't even remember. They bought out the founder and bought back 70 million shares in that buyout, which was 28% of the float. Okay, so there you have it then. Yeah, Tabo Douglas, 5% over. Can't find much info on him, but he's involved in another transportation company as well. Insiders buying regularly. That must be oh yeah. Historically, they have, but these are very old though. So just something to notice, and the lack of insider buying. What was the price now? $4.91. You can see here before the pandemic and in the pandemic, they have done some good business, but after they have bought above today's price, okay, so, and what did I put? All right, so good price 480, I said last time, which is of course got below. And in August, probably this was what caught my attention, right? 22nd of August. Yeah, right here, and like where it landed in the drop. And then 480 went down to 430. Maybe I will regret that I didn't pull the trigger there, but the question here is, what can the upside be with all that debt? They seem to just be steady paying it off, but it's still a lot. Okay, it's good to just update myself on it, but I think I will just leave it for now and not. It doesn't seem that it has evolved so much, this company, since I added them, so I'm not gonna update the notes. I think, obviously, if I it's a bit hard to go by the chart, even though this is on an uptrend now. If it turns, it can take out this low because it has no support here historically, and then it can get more ugly. So I'm just gonna keep tracking it. But interesting to see. Okay, the next one is Ring Energy, REY I. And I have owned these in the past, but I sold out to like I think I broke even. I was in it for a while, and then it just never managed to establish the price over $2. So I sold around a little bit below $2 for, I don't know, I think I got a few percentage gain there, but it was nothing to brag about. But the fundamentals still look good. Keep in mind here, you can see there's a short interest. But I think the fundamentals still look good. What I don't like is this increase in the shares outstanding. And they have some debt, but they turn up as safe. but they don't have any cash right now. So I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. I saw there was some news today of Ring. And this is where my new system here comes in handy. Right. You can see here, it alerts me on a press release and news, and I pull it from Seeking Alpha. So I saw this today, and I saw there was a press release saying something about that they have Ring Energy announces successful results of senior credit facility fall 2023 redetermination and final payment for founders property acquisition. So they have settled the acquisition, and it seems like they have what do you say, like what do you say, how do you say it in English, like postpone the due date on their loan. The reaffirmation of the credit facility borrowing base at 600 million. No changes to the terms under the credit facility, with next regularly scheduled bank determination for the company to occur during spring of 2024. So it's pretty near term though. Finalize the purchase. Yeah. Proceeds from the recent sales. Yeah, and they also sold something else, I think. So just skimming through that, I viewed it as something positive, but it didn't change the company's outlook so much, I think. And you can see on the chart, this has struggled. It has really struggled to establish itself over $2. And I regret, because I was involved here, I regret that I didn't sell out here. Because it went down quickly again, and then just it was banging heads to $2, and then it dropped and got pretty low here, and I was already out. I don't remember when I sold, but I think I sold just before this drop here. But interesting. I'm paying close attention to this company. Another reason why I also sold it was because I'm also involved in GTE. Both are oil companies, and they tend to just move in the same directions every day. So I felt it felt a little bit unnecessary when I have such a small portfolio already to have two similar companies that were trading so similar to each other. And I'm still, of course, in GT. I think it's a little bit of more upside in near term there than in Ring. But if you look here, trades well below book, but book has been declining. But the cash generation is what I like in this company. It generates pretty good cash historically as well. If you compare it to the share price. And right now it got down recently to 137, and I think I saw it and I had it on my radar, but I just didn't buy then because, as I said, I'm still involved in GT. And I was looking for other companies, new companies to buy into. Which I found now recently, the one I told you about. So I don't necessarily regret, but I think if you bought at 137, you have done a good deal here. But let's see how it goes. There's definitely some risk involved. And the short interest is something to pay attention to as well, 10%. Small company, not small company, 300 million. It's not a small company actually. And it has some insider buys, but yeah. One even now in December, 1st of December. And this William Cruiser guy is a 10% owner. All buys though. But these are meaningful. I wish they were a bit higher, but you can see they all bought on the 2. I wish they were a bit higher though, all of them. That would be more meaningful to me. Insider zone 31% roughly. And what is the margins doing here? You can see at some of these they have dropped a lot. So with the depth, no cash on the books. There's risk here, but and how's oil been doing lately? I know oil has been a bit down after it was up a lot when I owned it, but then it turned around. Maybe turning around again now. Interesting to follow, but yeah, I went out of it. But I'm keeping a close eye to Ring. I really liked it, and like I told you, I had a pretty decent gain, but I regret that I didn't sell out. But I thought it would go higher at that time because oil was really bullish also at the time, and of course we understood that it might turn around and drop a little bit. But yeah, I should have trimmed at least the position. I didn't own a lot, and that's part of the reason why I didn't do it. But yes, I beat myself up a little bit about it. I didn't lose money here, but I could have gotten a nice little return. Positive EPS. And where has this been historically, I think? Like around 5. The free cash flow, I wish they had a little bit more. Look at the capex here. That's something they need to improve on, I think. Has there been any writings about them? You see all buys, strong buy, but from the same guy, Elephant. We have talked about Elephant before. He knows his stuff. He knows this sector. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother to read through this now, but I just wanted to pull it up so so I could update myself a little bit on story, but because this is one of the companies that I've maybe in the tracker that I've followed very closely because I've owned it also in the past, and I still like it even at this level. I think you can get some good returns here. But I'm gonna wait and see a little bit more. Not doing anything now. You can see the cash. They don't have any cash. And the debt, when was it due? So it seems like they managed to handle the debt well. And I wasn't too worried about that when I entered it the first time. So I think, yeah, I think there's still opportunity here in the ring energy. And like I told you, I looked at this news as a good one, but 168 up. The market wasn't super happy. Let's just check who owns this. Because I saw some comments about the biggest owner dumping stocks, which you can see here. That's a lot of stocks, even 25% owner. Here's this William Cruiser guy, 10% owner. Not anymore, though. According to this, 6.5%. This is a hedge fund that owns Ring as their 7th largest position. They have also dropped a little bit of shares lately. Estimated average price on 3. So they are down now. Growth investing, building world-class business around the globe. They are emphasizing long-term perspective here. And if they are down now, and of course they are selling a little bit, but well, they were actually trimming a lot. but it didn't change their position. Who's still in number 7, so it's amongst the one they have least faith in, I guess. This jump, look at this dilution though, in recent years since the pandemic. More than double the share count. And capex substantially up as well. So there's of course risks here. And the short interest, 10%, 10.5%. But I still like it. I still like it. I think if I had a little bit more money now personally, I would consider a buy here. And I followed this, so I paid attention to the drop down to 137. And I would have gone in around those levels if I had a little bit of money and a big portfolio. But I focused more on GT, and maybe I will regret it. Okay, anyways, that was Ring. Let's move to the next one then. APEI, American Public Education. I also noticed that Dane was pulling up some education companies, and I've seen them in the Daily Movers lately. This is one I found in Daily Movers earlier today. I saw it landed now on 4%, but it was a bit more up earlier today. And I've seen some of the education companies in the screener in the Daily Movers lately in this week. So it's a bit interesting to pay attention to. So this company, I don't know them. I've not done research on them before. Small insider buy here. I see the market cap trades at $9. Pretty decent revenue growth after being very stable for many years. It has jumped up a lot in the past 2 years, so they must have improved something, or bought something, or maybe developed a new platform. I'm not sure. According to this, the revenues is a bit down over the years. You can see them here also in the average ones. There's a lot of red. And book peaked here after the pandemic and then has gotten a hit again. And something ugly happened here that there was a big write down, it looks like. And also here you can see the share count up. So maybe they have issued shares to buy something in this period that has not worked out well for them. So that was in 2021. But after some nice growth on the tangible book, I'm not too fan on the book. They have some cash. They cover the near-term debt, and they have some debt, but they also are showing up as safe. In most of the companies we deal in, they don't show up as safe, but now lately, I have found some that does, which is look at this one. Here has been a big acquisition, but how is that possible? That doesn't make sense. There's a decrease in net. So have they? That's a lot. How much is that for this? For this market cap? So according to my data, I get like that's acquisition of 330 million, which is double the market cap in one acquisition, or an acquisition for 1 year. It could be multiple ones, but what the hell? And then you see this drop here. That makes me believe like. And you also can see the revenue growth here. Remember, we were talking about maybe they have developed something new or bought something. And this data matches this one, but this one should be here. At least from my thinking. So that's something we need to look into, because this is a huge acquisition for this company. 330 million. And here you can see the excess cash also. Because here they had cash, excess cash 135. What was that at the time? 15 million. 20 million. So not a lot, but they also had excess cash here. They have obviously, and they issued shares. So 21 was the year, but this acquisition shows up here on 23. So there's something that doesn't make sense already. And you can see straight away some operating cash flow increasing and then goes down again. So I think this has been a failed acquisition, which worries me a bit. But this is something we should check into. To recover. So what are they recovering from? In the last year, man, and this was in 2022. Yeah, so it was in 2021 then. But my data says 0 there. Was this a big one? In the last year, management came up with an acquisition of Rasmussen's University for 325 million. This is the one. This is the one. Funded through cash and debt financing with the belief that the new acquisition is strongly aligned with its mission. However, the acquisition cost seems considerably high. Yep. Therefore, return on investment from this asset might lag the core business. So, Rasmussen University. Here. Sorry, I'm just trying to find if there's been some comments on a poor acquisition or something like that. Due to struggling Rasmussen University. So it seems like that's the big acquisition, and that it has been a poor one. Is management talking about this? Investor relation packet. I don't. What is this? Just trying to see if management has commented on the acquisition. Yeah, here. We acknowledge that the acquisition of Rasmussen has not met our expectation. We believe we have isolated the overall causes of the challenges, including post-COVID market. So obviously, what I'm thinking is that this number, for some reason, it shows up here, and I don't know why, but it makes more sense because that comes out to 320 million, 30 million, and the acquisition was for 325 million. And that happened here. So I'm thinking this is something just, I don't know why, but that this should have been here, and that they've had a really poor acquisition after the pandemic that has hurt the business. And probably this is why it's fallen so much, since 38 bucks here. Just constantly falling, taking hit after hit. And now it's very low, actually. Historical low. And you can see it has found some support around 4. And it's up a double since then. Since October. I saw some mentions about a repurchase program. Authorized an up to 10 million shares repurchase program. The new stock buyback program comes in addition to the 8 million share repurchase announced earlier this year. So they have approved a higher amount of share repurchases. And you can see they've already tried to start with that since last year. And they show up as safe. So they must feel they have control of the debt. And they've started to pay a dividend. It's a bit weird. See here, since the acquisition, just down. Also in the retained earnings. Well, on the way up again though, is that what we are seeing? Like, it's overbought here right now on the RSI. Oh, sorry, Dane, I didn't see you. How long you been here? I didn't see that you had the comment. And right now I'm checking American public education. And I remember you also pulled up some education company in your last stream, if I don't remember wrong. And I think my numbers are a bit weird because we have investigated a little bit, and we found an acquisition in 21 that has turned really bad for this company. But in my data, I get that number here in 2023. So I don't know what's going on, but I think that's supposed to be here in 21, and that it has hurt the business a lot. And as you can see on the chart, since 2021 it has dropped again and again, but it has found some support around 4 and it's up a double from the lows there. So, and the cash generation is not terrible, but I like it more more close to 4. Very little inside the buys. Still below book though. So Dane is saying I kind of always skip 21 because of the code bounce from the low rates, but yeah. There's always some bounce around here, and so I agree. Like these numbers around here for a lot of the companies are in some sectors very good, and in some sectors very bad, but they are not representative for the normal part of the business. And that's why it's always good to use these longer averages when you are trying to value something. On the charts, yeah. But even before though, 22. So down at 4. I don't know. Seems like they messed up a lot with this acquisition. Look at the market cap now, 160, and I don't think they did this acquisition now. So the market cap was higher here in 21, but they messed up with the acquisition, and they even acknowledges in one of the articles we found. I think it was the transcript here. Well, I can't find it again, but they acknowledged that the acquisition had gone really bad and that they expected something completely else. But yeah, the cash flow, imagine this at 4, it would be way more attractive. And recently was at 4. In October. So I think this is already gone. Historically, before that acquisition though, look at the earnings. Pretty decent. I mean, maybe not in the numbers, but consistently in the plus side. And building up retained earnings. It was flat for many years though here. Also in the retained earnings. And then I guess the acquisition made the revenue go up, but everything else down. Have you seen something since your stream, Dale? Because I didn't find so much today on the daily movers. I have checked out a few companies from the tracker that I already have added to the tracker, and just to update myself on them. And then I found this company on the daily movers today. Let me know in the comments if you have found something, so I can pull it up here. But I think for now, I'm not sure. I wish on this one that there were some better articles. Not better, sorry, I misspoke. Some more articles that we could get a better picture of what's going on. This is what you can see, like a potential turnaround. But if you would be a part of that, you should have paid attention to when it was a bit lower. Girls like Rasmussen struggling, ADN nursing program. Therefore, I recommend a wait and see hold until we see a more evident growth and profitability path, which is kind of what we have seen also, and which is why I'm a bit hesitant to add it to the tracker. But then again, if you go back to before the pandemic, if you can reach back to these numbers, and they are buying back shares, and they have just got a improved another 10 million for share repurchase, and before they had 8, so 18 in total. Shows up at safe. Yeah, maybe we should add it. Maybe I should add it, just not anywhere near a buy, but to track it to see if it can drop down to the 4s again, because if this drops to the 4, it's way more interesting for me. But I doubt it will, because it recently was here. But needs to maybe, you see it's a bit oversold right now. Pretty low volume compared to other places here. And the chart is in new territory down here. So who knows what it will do next. It kind of have to break up here, right? Seems like the climb has started though, but it can turn and go down. So I will actually add it just to check. Just to check the story there. I need to improve these because mine is too limited. I'm just gonna put something and then I will adjust it later. $8.99 for price, and I will put 4, maybe a bit higher to just to catch my attention before. If there has been a big drop down to 450, something has happened and I need to pay attention to it before it reaches potentially 4. But I don't have a lot of confidence that it will drop down again. Fundamentals looks all right. They've had a big bad acquisition, but there might be potential for a turnaround story. Historically well driven before the pandemic, but the acquisition has hurt their numbers. Seems like they have control on the debt. Share repurchase program ongoing for 18 million. Pay attention to a potential drop in share price. Just to track it. Doesn't cost much to just have it in tracker. Not something I'm super confident in this. And it tells you something also. If you mess up an acquisition that bad, it's not a good look for management. But then again, it has turned around a little bit after, and it was pretty consistent before. So maybe we should, if it drops down, we can give them a chance. Look here in the 3 months, 70% off. A bit late to the party here. Okay, Dane. Honestly, didn't get to update my track this morning, but let me check my insiders movers quick for today. Yeah, technically, I would wait for pullback. Yeah. Volume is small on these price raises. Yeah. And did you? I was saying to the stream that I took a position in NCSM, and I saw on your stream that you pulled them up. The price is now on 17 again. Is that updated? Oh, what? Did it end on 1731? I'm still in plus side. But talking about low volume, I don't think I've ever been in a stock that has volume like NCSM. So you know, any sale or purchase there has a big effect on the share price. So I'm just waiting. I took a small position, just checking it out. I saw that you saw I'm still not sold on NCSM. And I wanted it lower too, and it might drop lower actually. Like I think it was down almost to 16 today, and I got an entry of on 17 blank yesterday, so I think this can drop down towards 15. But yeah, I just like the comments on Seeking Alpha that I think it was Courage that said he had done some modeling on when the big buyers would have bought, and in his conclusion they would have an average of like between 16 or 18. So yeah, I just thought I should jump in, check it out. Yeah, no, I agree that something needs there, and it's a bit disappointing after the news about that 40 million. The volume has still been super low. So either this is never going to happen or the market is sleeping on it. So it will be very exciting to see where this goes. But the low volume is crazy. I've never seen something like it before. We can check the chart. This is the entry, right? 12. I think Starbucks said he had bought as much as he could without making the price go up so much. And averaging down. I think he said his average was around 18. So I think he averaged down here. Because he was pretty confident that they would get that 40 million back in based on what they had said on the calls and stuff like that. So he was pretty confident on it. But has had a jump since, but still low volume. Look at this. Nothing. Average volume 4,000. Risky. Don't get it wrong, this is risky. But the short-term thesis is that 40 million back will be improving the balance sheet. So Dane says you look at UEIC. No, I haven't. But I think I've done it before. Yeah, I have it here. I have it in tracker. But I don't remember much from it. Gone. Good fundamentals, not sure if it will drop more than the current level. Is this cheap enough? I think I could start a position here, but kind of want blah blah blah. Got half the market cap in cash and remaining half in assets, generating cash but poor earnings on the TTM data. Haven't figured out why, but 2023 have been a rough year for the business. Pay attention to more insider buy. There has been some smaller ones and a big drop. This was like half a year ago. So there has been more inside buys. A lot since I wrote that. And bigger ones as well from this LLC. They are... Do you know about these, Dane? Toro 18. He's like another activist. Let's pull up the fundamentals on it. Pretty big drop from the highs here, but more realistically, I think right around here between 25 and 30. Still a big drop from there though. Someone bought a lot on this drop around 9, and it hasn't moved much since. And there has not been so much selling. So who owns this? Yeah, they're saying he hasn't looked too much at them lately, but that they showed up on the screener today. I would pull it up here. Look at the insiders, 1 million in the last month. Trading close to 52-week low at these levels. 827. What did I have as a price? 6. But maybe I've been too rough with with the price. Might not come down to 6. Yeah. So decrease here in the book value, also in the revenue. Capex has improved a little bit, and margins slightly worse on the single years as well, but not all of them. Free cash flow and operating cash flow is up together with EBIT. And they have 56 in excess cash. They show up as safe. I pulled up a lot of safe companies today. It's a bit weird. Trades at 8 now, and the historical operating cash flow is around, like, this is 7-year average. Shows up at 3 per share, which is pretty good when you trade now at 8. Free cash flow also around $1 on all the metrics here. Earnings got a big hit though this year, minus 766. What are they talking about on Seeking Alpha? There's no comments. Nothing. And the articles are a bit old. Universal Electronic is a potential value play in the consumer electronics industry. The stock has experienced significant decline in share price, but the long-term MACD. Oh, this is a technical analyst article, which I might read if I'm going to look into these deeper, but I'm not going to spend time on that now. So no one is writing about them, no one is commenting on them, but we have this what I think is an activist that is buying up shares from low 7 to 8, and his second biggest purchase is above 8. And they would check, I don't remember now, they would check the owners. It's interesting with this, but I can't find much information. This is the only thing they own. Holy shit. There's like all kinds of smart products from the home and yeah, for your home basically. Business model changes, especially in the USA, ad tech opportunity will increase competition over TV OS operators leveraging broadband to bundle streaming service with dedicated CPE. Okay. So they have seen some changes and are positioning themselves to participate there, I guess. Climate control opportunity. According to this, it seems like they are very aware and trying to establish them and themselves in a position where they can take advantage of all these trends and what they see are markets growing. You know, residential climate control estimated at 1 billion and to be growing at 10%, driven by thermostats, wall controllers, handheld AC remotes. And I don't know in USA, but I'm not sure if I've seen so much of this where I live in Europe. But I'm sure the market is big here. The fact that I've just don't seen them doesn't mean anything really. But I was just thinking about outside of the USA. But I'm sure that when I've traveled to warmer countries in Europe, you need all these things for the climate control systems, and we have some apartment in other countries where we have to use the air conditioner all the time. So this is where you have this remote. So I'm sure that the 10% growing here is accurate. I'm moving the wrong way. So Dan is saying there is a lot of competition in this space. Yeah, I can imagine. And HVAC is heating and cooling, so it would be both. Yeah. But a lot of companies have these remote control options. I think it's dominated by Google and Amazon. Yeah, and would have to have something that separates them or make their products better. Yeah, it's of course hard to compete with those big ones. And for me, that I'm not used to this company, I would have no idea what their edge is. And you can see here the numbers are decreasing. Board of Directors initiated 1 million share buybacks in Q4 2023 based on conviction in growth strategy and market opportunity. Yeah. So according to that presentation, they are like looking at the trends and are trying to position them to take their share in there. But like Dane are making good point that this space is very competitive, and what makes this company stands out. Do you know about this holding company, Dane? Toro 18? Have you heard about them before? Because that's a bit interesting to me. Yeah, they just have that one. There's nothing here. And it's a 13D. So I'm thinking this might be an activist investor. Dane is saying, I think they look cheap with cash flow, but I think sales will continue to decrease unless I'm missing something. And that's what we said initially, that there's been a revenue drop. The margin has taken a hit. The cash flow historically is pretty similar to all the averages. But then it's like, it does trade close to the 52-week lows at these levels. But the earnings looks terrible. And I guess that's why you have this decline. $5 million. How much he holds? 1.5. And will we see when he bought in? No. Well, maybe it's a bit new on 12%. And the date was from, well, now, 6th of December. But he might have bought many times before that and just filed here. But this is back in June though. I'm not sure if it was here. Can't find much on them. They bought. Looks close to a low and held that well, so maybe know what they are doing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking also. That looks interesting to me, that alone. And but I wish I had more information on them. But if you look at the excess cash here and the market cap, that's pretty high, and it shows up as safe. So the question here will be, of course, if they can turn it around a bit, generate more cash, improve their margins, and like you say, if they can stand out and get a bigger market share, which will be tough, I think. But if they can come back to all the levels here, of course, these are from the pandemic. So more realistically, like 2019. It was here at 23, but went up to 60 though. And then straight down again. So what do you think, Dane? Like around 25 to 30? If you multiply here with 10, you get a rough valuation of 25 to 30. I already have them in my tracker, so I'm not gonna add them again. And I don't think I will update the information. I might update the activist and that they have they have bought more shares since I looked at them. Activist investor involved bought, what was it, 12%? And buys at, yeah, we have it here. What was I thinking? He bought in October, November, and December. From 7 to 8. I was just writing, there has been more interbuys in general, and can they improve margin, take the market share to improve the fundamentals more? And I'm gonna modify it. And it will update in the tracker. All right. Well, I think those companies are. I think most of the companies we have looked at today has been interesting, and like I said, I could have if my financial position was a bit different right now, I could have been tempted to buy into some of them, but I did make a purchase in NCSM on. I don't remember which day. I think it was yesterday. And I know Dane pulled it up on Tuesday, so I'm not going to do that here. But we discussed it a little bit off camera also on Monday. It showed up in my screener. Actually on Friday. So I think I found them on Sunday or Monday. And then, of course, I wish I had found them a little bit before. But I took the chance to jump in here, and I will pay extra close attention to increase in volume or natural gas prices. And like we saw yesterday and maybe today too, they are up a bit, the natural gas. So it has turned maybe a little bit, and hopefully it can go a little bit more, and that would be good for NCSM, I assume. But yeah, some interesting ones today, I think, and some of them were already in the tracker. I haven't found so much in the daily movers, but hopefully Dane and I can come together on Saturday, and we can maybe check some of the weekly movers as well, or maybe something happens tomorrow. And by the way, I was meant to talk about this on the stream, but I've totally forgot. But did you guys see Paul yesterday? POL, it was up like 800% at some point. I think it landed on 500%, and I couldn't find any news. I haven't checked today. I saw them too, and I have them in the tracker. I've been following them for a while, so I was a bit annoyed. But something crazy was going on there. I think today they are down 50%. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I think it was driven by forums and stuff like that. But I'm not sure. I didn't look closely into it at all. I was just 800% in a day. That's insane. So something to keep an eye on. Dane is saying, I'm going to read UEIC's recent transcript, but I still have to go through my movers. Haven't had much on the insider tab. I don't think there was news random gap. Oh, yeah, with momentum, the meme, he's talking about POL now. You got up to 1,000% in a day. Oh, will you believe being in that from before? 1,000% in a day. And I have them in the tracker. I think I paid. I found them when I listened to a podcast long time ago. I added them in April 2022, and I had a good price entry of 1, and it got below that. But then I thought these guys are struggling, and they have been for a long time, and then that happened. So I don't know. How can you predict anything like that? That's insane. But I didn't see them on the like Ape Wisdom is like a social sentiment page. And I didn't see them here. And I don't think this is the right company, right? No. Polish. But I saw the conversations, and they were talking about that it was like driven like a meme stock. And of course, who knows what's gonna happen with them tomorrow. And continue. I'm not gonna take a position there, but it's entertaining to watch and follow, and maybe you will find some stuff on Reddit with the lost porn and all that stuff, with people involved there. All right, guys, I think that's it for today. I hope you found it useful. Maybe you added some tickers to your own tracker today, or your own watch list. I like some of these companies, and I will continue to track them. I even added some to my tracker that was new. And hopefully Dan and I can see you on Saturday again, even though it's close to Christmas. And of course, if you can't stream on Saturday, I think I will speak for both of us when we say to everyone that we wish you a good, a Merry Christmas and good holidays. And we will see you as soon as we can after Christmas then. And I hope everyone will enjoy time with their families and enjoy Christmas, even that you will get a lot of good Christmas presents. So yeah, we will let you know on Twitter on Saturday if we go on. I think we can, but I'm not 100% sure. So you just have to wait and see. But that's I think I will call it the airing and stop the stream. So I will see you later.